In today's video, I want to show you how to wash your car with no swirls guaranteed. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. My name is Aaron Latman, co-owner of Attention to Detail Luxury Detailing and Coatings here in Highland, Indiana. Today we're going to be working on this 2016 BMW. This vehicle was ceramic coated by us, and what we want to do is show you how to properly wash a car with no swirls. See, the biggest thing with any car, especially a black car, is that when you wash the car, and especially washing it improperly, you can actually get swirl marks in the paint. What is a swirl mark? A swirl mark is any time you take a towel, a rag, a mitt, anything, and apply it to the paint with no lubrication, causing it to very slightly scratch the paint. Okay, you're not scratching the actual black paint, but you're scratching that top layer of clear coat. There's gonna be a ton of education in this video. There's gonna be a lot of tools and products you might not have at home. Don't just go out on Amazon and buy everything, okay? You want to buy what you think is going to be best for you, okay? But the most important thing is that I want to make sure that I can teach you how to effectively wash your car and not swirl it up, okay? So let's start off by explaining what we have here. So you always want to do the rims first, okay? So we start with the rims. I've got a rim bucket here. My rim bucket is on wheels so that I can travel around the car. And what it includes is a few different things here. We have a bunch of different brushes. This one's gonna be for any bigger rims, like truck rims. This is gonna be to get inside the barrels, kind of like this. You can actually just get it in the barrel here and clean that. This is for the fender wells only because we actually have a face brush right here. It's just a smaller handle. You can use both. Detail brushes go on the side of the bucket. We have a bunch of different types. This one's gonna be like a softer bristle. This one's a harder bristle. This one's also a harder bristle. And then we have this one as well for any lug nuts or stuff like that. So we also have the bucket is filled with degreaser. You can get degreaser on Amazon. You can get degreaser at AutoZone. And then we also have a dirty microfiber towel. It's clean, but it's been used, I should say. And this is to actually floss the back of the faces. So you actually floss behind here. And then we have our another bottle of degreaser. So we've got that here. And that's gonna be for our rims, okay? So let me show you how to wash the rims. We have our pressure washer here. On our pressure washer, we have a dual nozzle. So one side is for the pressure, and then one side is you can attach like a foam cannon or attach like a softer pressure nozzle or something like that. And to switch between the two, you just pop this. It's a very fancy feature. Just a very, very, very cheap electric pressure washer is gonna be fine to wash your car. You don't need that much pressure at all. Okay, so let's start off here. We're gonna wash the rim. And when I wash the rim here, I just wanna make sure that I'm taking off any of the main dirt. And then also, I wanna also wash the wheel well. So we'll always spray your pressure washer on the ground first to make sure that the tip does not fly off. You don't want it to fly off onto the paint, okay? So hopefully you can hear me right now, but what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually just washing off the rim, making sure that I'm taking off okay, I don't know if you could hear me there, but basically I'm just washing off the rim with some water to make sure I can take off all the main dirt and grime, and then I'm gonna clean up the actual wheel well. It's very important to not actually hit the paint. And again, what I'm doing is, all I'm doing is just knocking down any of the main dirt. You'll see that the water is actually dripping underneath the car here. I'll kind of point it out right now. The water's kind of dripping down there. If the water that's dripping down here is clear, which it is, then you know you've got all the main dirt. And it's not clean, but you've got all the main dirt. If it's dripping brown, make sure that you continue to pressure wash out that wheel well. To wash the rim, we start off by throwing some degreaser on. We spray it on the actual tire itself, and then we also spray it all in the barrel and the face. To point out a few parts of your rim here, okay, this is the actual tire, this is the tire wall right here. Then you have your wheel, your actual rim itself. This is the face. These are the lug nuts. This is what actually connects the rim to the car. You can actually unscrew those and the rim comes off. Behind here we have a brake caliper. The brake caliper is sometimes painted, sometimes not. And then you have your actual barrel. That's the part back here. You can reach it on most rims. It's all back here. That's the barrel. And then you also have the wheel well. And the wheel well is what we just sprayed. So I just sprayed degreaser everywhere, make sure I can get that good. And I like to let it sit for a little bit. If you're doing this in the sun, don't let it sit for more than about 5 minutes. I like to take this red, and I'm gonna clean this, I'm gonna scrub this. Okay, dip it in, get it wet, clean off any of the main dirt. Then what I'll do, I'm actually gonna take this one, and I'm gonna clean up the tire. This tire is very clean. If it's not, you might want more of a harder brush. You can get a harder brush or like a gentle wire brush or something like that. Clean all that up. Then I'm gonna take the face, I'm gonna do the face here. These rims are very difficult to fully clean just with these bigger brushes, but you wanna get in every crack and crevice, very self-explanatory here. What I like to do though is, I actually like to take my detail brush and get in every crack and crevice. I'll show you that in a second here. After I clean up the main parts of the face, I'm gonna clean up the barrels. So you wanna go in each and every single one, go left, go right, clean everything up here. Go in the next hole. Make sure that I'm going in every single hole here. Gentle, you just want to be gentle. And we want to make sure that we are effectively cleaning. This brush is really good for behind the calipers as well. Take your detail brush, spray a little bit of degreaser on it. And I like to get in all the lugs. Get around all the emblems. And then this is where I'll actually go in and scrub every single one individually. Each rim takes about 15 minutes, maybe 20. We also really go ham with them though. And the biggest goal here is I want to get all the dirt off of all the cracks and crevices. Okay, make sure to get that around where your air goes in. And then I take my microfiber towel and I open it up. I stick it in between, kind of like you're flossing your teeth, and I floss all of these. And that actually cleans behind each one of the spokes. I will also take my hand, put it on, and actually manually clean behind each one of these. It's hard to see on camera, but behind every single spoke here, there's actually just like a little ridge. And so we want to make sure that we're actually getting behind that ridge, and you can kind of feel with your hands. It's an indentation in the actual BMW rim. Every rim is different, of course. You want to actually clean the inside lip. Look, covered with dirt. You want to clean the inside lip of all of your fender wells with this as well. And you actually notice that when you're cleaning the inside lip, you actually do get a ton extra dirt. Okay, so if we did this entire rim, we just move on to the next one. Now that we've got the rims squeaky clean, we're gonna be working on the paint, okay? So we've got our pressure washer here. We're gonna start by doing an initial pressure wash just to knock off any of the loose dirt, any of the debris that's on the car that's loose. And then I wanna also show you how to fill up your bucket. So if you're using a foam cannon, that's not a problem at all. Then you just fill up your bucket. I like to use just like a little bit of pH neutral soap. You wanna make sure that all the soaps you're using are pH neutral and do not have any waxes in them or any like sealants or anything like that. So what we like to use is some rinseless wash. So rinseless wash is actually a great way to add a bunch of lubrication without a ton of suds, and also it's a little bit of a safer method because it has more lubricants than a traditional car soap. So we use the foam cannon to spray all of the car down with foam to add lubrication, and then we actually are washing with even more lubricants than are in the foam soap. I can't see them, but they're molecules. So in our bucket here, we fill it up with water. We dump in a little bit of microfiber towels. So we usually have about 6 of them. And what you want to do is when you dump your microfiber towels in, you actually want to, so I'll kind of show you. So before you dump them in, you usually do 5 of them. You take your microfiber towel. These are 500 GSMs, and 500 GSM microfiber towel edgeless. You don't want any edges on them. An edged microfiber towel, let me see if I can find one. We don't really have many in the shop. Oh, perfect. So this is an edged microfiber towel. So on one side, you have the microfibers. These are literally called microfibers. And then on the other side, you have where they are sewn in. And then on the edge here, you actually have the sewn edge. So they used to make, microfibers were created, I believe, in like 1960 or 1970, the actual microfiber. But this edge here was designed to lock in all of these fibers from not fraying. They've actually since come up with a technology where they roll the edge in, so you actually have no edge. And so all of our towels in here, minus like these, basically shop towels, are edgeless. So you can kind of see here that on the edge, they don't ever fray, but there's no edge, so it's never gonna scratch the paint. A lot of people like to cheap out on microfiber towels because they have edges on them. They're a lot cheaper, they're a lot less expensive to make as well. And when something's less expensive to make, it's cheaper, so you get what you pay for. With these towels, we fold them into 4s. I usually take 5 towels. Once I fold them into 4s, then you put it into your bucket. It smells really good. It's a green rinseless wash. I think it's by McKee's 37. And so we put 5 in there, and then I also have 3 detail brushes. These are different detail brushes than the ones for the rims. Please understand that you wash the rims with all separate brushes and towels and everything. This one right here is gonna be for all of your truck beds, your bed liners, stuff like that. It's a little bit more on the firmer side. This one right here is soft. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. Like it's just for going around all the cracks and crevices, like here, and also in between the handles and all around the B-pillars and on the edges of the windows. And then this one is for actually on the paint. This one is just so soft. It's so perfect. It's so soft for anything that you need to use on the paint, such as like, so let's just say this fender vent. We would actually use this brush to get around the fender vent because it's actually touching the paint. And so that's gonna be good to clean out any dirt and debris that's in hard to reach places that a towel won't really grab. So you take 5 of these towels. Now the reason why we have microfiber towels and not wash mitts are because wash mitts actually, they hold dirt in them inside of the actual fibers. And when they hold the dirt, when you actually go to wash the car, the dirt actually will scratch the paint. So these are fresh, brand new microfiber towels, super clean. And each side of the car, each panel gets its own side of the microfiber. So this side of the microfiber will be used to wash the fender. And then when you're done with the fender, you flip it over and now you do the door. Then you fold it inside out and you do another door and then the quarter panel. And then you fold it inside out, and now you've got another 4 sides. Let me go ahead and show you rinsing down the car. It's very straightforward. Just rinse down the car, and then we'll get into the foam cannon stage. So to rinse down the car, make sure that you're always spraying the pressure washer down at the ground. Now, believe it or not, when you're washing the car, if you don't go from top down, the top surfaces down, if you rinse off any of the dirt and it starts to slide down on the paint, you'll actually cause light swirls and scratches. About 8 inches down from the paint is perfectly fine. 8 inches away. And make sure that you don't slide you can kind of see that my hose reel is not dragging across the car. Again, just a quick pre-rinse here. Nothing crazy. This car was ceramic coated by us. It's beating and seating very, very well. Get a little closer to the exhaust. Very important that we get close to the exhaust there. And then we'll go around to the other side. If you ever have trouble with your pressure washer or your hose actually getting stuck, we actually have these little things called detail guards. They're a little dirty. We don't really use them, but for the DIYers, they're perfect. You actually slide them around the rim or the tire here, and you stick it in, and so now it actually your hose never gets caught. So that's kind of a little golden nugget for you. We don't really use them that often. You can see we have all of our pads down here. We never use these. Never use them. It also saves you on a bucket because a lot of people do the 2-bucket wash method. You don't need the 2-bucket wash method. Once you are done with 8 sides of that microfiber, you never put it back in that bucket again, so you don't need 2 buckets. Now we're just gonna attach on the foam cannon, and you're gonna foam down the entire car. So once the whole car is foamed down, basically take our detail brush. We're gonna go around every crack and crevice here, and anything that could catch dirt on it. You want to clean that off. Not necessary for every single vehicle that you do. This is super soft. It's not really doing anything, any harm to the paint or any of the stuff here. But the most important part is that it's getting in all of the dirt and debris. Like, look on this windshield here. There's like a really deep crevice right behind here. So what I like to do is I like to take the brush and actually get in that crevice, because it's not like I'm just going to take my my wash rag and like get in there. Right, do it to every single one. Take the gas tank. When you pop open the gas tank, clean in there. I use the dirtier one to do that. With your mirrors, you always want to pull the mirrors out, get in and around all over where the mirror sits. And then also, if you look in the mirror here, if you actually move the mirror down, actually there's a bunch of dirt there. Same thing with up here, and you get every single side. And you can't get that with a towel, right? So it's very important that we use the brush. There's a bunch of other spots. I just want to show you, maybe like we can do the door handle. You open up the door handle, clean up in there. Very important that you want to do that. Now for washing the paint, it's awesome. So we'll get a towel. Again, we're using 8 sides. So side number 1 is going to be for this fender. You always want to go top down. For this example, you would actually start with the roof and the hood, but I just want to show you how I'm washing. And you're going left to right. When you get to the halfway point on the door, you stop, flip your towel, do your door. Now you're not worried about scrubbing with the mitt on all these edges because it's already done. The amount of pressure is I mean, you can kind of see it's just falling. That's how much pressure. So I'm not actually scrubbing because it doesn't need it. So anyways, to do this door here, we stop halfway, and now I've used 2 sides. Why do you stop halfway? Because the most amount of dirt is at the bottom of the doors. So now we start at this, get the window, flip it again. We'll do this door halfway again. And it's you can see how fast we're washing this. Now I'm gonna flip it inside out because I just did 4. Now I got 4 more sides. Let's do this quarter panel here. Stopped right here. I'll show you the trunk. Flip this, you hit the trunk. I've washed the car in almost like, what, 2 minutes, the entire car. Make sure to take your detail brush and get around all those. Now we got 2 more sides. So for these last 2 sides, I'm gonna do all the lower here. You still wanna be gentle. Now that side's done, completely done. Let's go to the next and we'll hit all the lowers of the doors. Don't do the rockers yet. That's just the lowers of the doors. I just finished 8 sides of this microfiber towel. Where does it go? It goes in the dirty towel bin. It does not touch my towels there. Now I'm gonna take another towel, fold it into 4s. So this is why you use 5 towels per car. You don't have to throw them out, you can just put them in the washer when you're done. And now I've got my next 8. Now I can do this lower half of the door. I'm not contaminating any other panels with dirt. So now I'm gonna flip the next side. I'm gonna do the lower part of the fender, flip it inside out, and then you work on getting all of your rocker down here. And you go under the car a little bit. You can see this dirt right here. That's literally grass from underneath this BMW's car. You can see there's a rock. What happens if you took your wash rag, and mind you, you're using a 2-bucket method, and you take your wash rag, 1 wash mitt, and you dip it into the clean bin, you scrub it around, you do your 2-3 panels, whatever, and you go down and you catch some dirt down here. Look at this dirt. What is going to happen? You're gonna scratch the car. So this is why it's imperative. We are showing you how to wash your car with no swirls guaranteed. If you follow these steps, you're not gonna have any swirls. Okay, so let me wash the rest of the car, and I will then show you how to rinse off the car properly, and dry it. So stay tuned. I'll see you just in a quick second here. Now we've got the whole car washed here, so we're just going to rinse it off. Again, starting top to bottom, and you wanna make sure that you're rinsing all the cracks and crevices. It's very important that you get the cracks and crevices because it got soap in it. It's very important that you're doing this in a fast manner, especially when you're outside, because the sun can actually leave water spots, and it's important that you don't want anything to leave water spots. Again, making sure that we're getting every crack and crevice here. Spraying inside the mirror. There's usually a little drain hole right here as well, so you can just kind of push the soap out there. Make sure you don't spray directly in here, otherwise the water's going to shoot back out at you. Now that we have rinsed the entire car off, we're going to take our leaf blower. We use the Ego leaf blower that we got off Amazon, and this little green thing, so that if you accidentally hit the paint, it's not going to scratch it, right? So always making sure. I like to throw it over my head, throw it on blast mode, and all we're going to do is go from top to bottom and get all of the water off with the leaf blower. Again, the only time you get the swirls and scratches if you're washing the car properly is in the drying process. Why? Because you're taking the towel and you're scratching it. If there's no lubrication, you're gonna scratch the actual clear coat. We take this up. Make sure you also take the leaf blower and dry the rims too. Now for all of our clients, we give you a little small 8-ounce bottle or 4-ounce bottle of Icon Enhancer. This is some Icon Enhancer right here. What you want to do is, if there's any leftover water, just very gently spray a light mist of this. Like, that's all you need for this entire panel. And then as you go along, once you towel dry it, it actually adds that lubrication that you need to not allow any marring. You don't have to use any lubrication really on the windows to clean up the windows. And if there's any spots that have like a bunch of water still, just sort of like right up here, just take it, do a light, very light mist. And as you wipe across, and then you kind of dry it, it leaves it with nothing. So we're gonna go ahead and get this entire car dried up here, and we'll be good to go. Now that we have fully washed and dried the vehicle professionally, I want to show you, we're going to do just a quick swirl test. I have a flashlight, but you can actually see there's literally no swirl marks. So just a little bit of background on this client's car. It's a 2016. We've coated it about a year and a half ago, a little over a year ago, somewhere around there. We wash this vehicle every single week. So it is being washed every single week. We professionally hand wash this car. There's no swirl marks. It's very, very important that you understand how this method works and why it works, and that there are no swirl marks. This is a black vehicle, it's a black BMW. We wanted to film this video with a black car because it's a lot more difficult to see swirl marks and scratches on a white car or a gray car, stuff like that. So we wanted to do it on a black car. But also you have to understand, the reason why we're not getting swirl marks is because we're putting lubrication on any time we're touching the paint. If I wash the car with no soap, you're gonna scratch it. You're gonna rub the dirt around. If I dry the car with no soap, you're gonna take that towel and drag around the water. You're going to scratch it. The microfibers are going to scratch. If I take sandpaper, you know there's 1500 grit sandpaper, 2000, 3000 grit sandpaper. If I take 40,000 grit sandpaper against a wall, just a normally painted wall, do you think that sandpaper is going to at least leave some sort of marring? Yes. It's the same thing. Anytime you touch the car, it's putting sandpaper, no matter how fluffy it is. Those dusters, anytime you take a duster, you do not want to dust the car. You take the duster, you put it on, it's got all those particles of dirt, particulates sitting inside the duster. Those feather dusters that you roll around, you're just moving the dirt around. It's the same thing. That's why here at Attention to Detail, Luxury Detailing in Highland, Indiana, we do not like you to put a car cover on. Why no car cover? Because every time you put the car cover on, you're gonna swirl and scratch the paint. When we dry the car, we use Icon Enhancer or a very similar product, like a quick detailer basically, to not induce any towel marring. That's the entire point. Anytime you're touching the car, you want lubrication. If you gently lean against your car, you're going to scratch it unless there's lubrication. Anytime that someone's purse drags across the car, the keys drag across the car, you're going to get light swirls and scratches. No matter if you have a ceramic coating, no matter if you have Icon Rock Clear, no matter if you have paint protection film, you're going to get those light swirls and scratches. The paint protection film self-heals those swirls and scratches. It's not that you don't get them, it just self-heals them. With a ceramic coating or Icon Rock Clear or any type of wax or protection, you can still get those swirls and scratches. It's imperative that you wash your vehicle, and anytime you're touching your vehicle, you use lubrication. So that is how to properly wash your vehicle without any swirls and scratches. We wash this vehicle once a week. It's been over a year that we've washed it once a week, over 50 times, and there's no swirls and scratches. If you're looking for any work done or have any questions, give me a call, 219-533-8783. Aaron Latman with Attention to Detail, Luxury Detailing in Highland, out of here. Thank you guys so much.